And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, we have returned here with the grand finals of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle number 14. This is where it all ends. This is where it all does come to an end here. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Solaris, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, representing Hyper 1. It is the challenger looking for his revenge. It is HonMonO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Zerg player representing the Cranky Ducklings, going for a gas pool opener. It is Erik. Oh, we're actually going for a proxy. Okay, we have a gas pool here from Erik. Likewise, we have a proxy 3 racks here from HonMonO. So the cheese is upon us. We saw this earlier against Demi, as in HonMonO going for a proxy 3 racks, going for proxy Marines. Meanwhile, Erik back at home is going for a faster gas into faster Lings, I imagine. Yeah, Ling speed is on the way. Erik, both players rolling the dice. I feel like Erik comes out on top here. I feel like Erik has the better opener to shut down something like, or something aggressive like a proxy 3 racks. But we'll see. We'll see how this all comes together. We will see how this all comes to fruition. As Lings are going to be moving out. We're scouting as well. Oh my god, we are going to be checking. He doesn't check. He does check the near third base. He does check here right next to the gas geysers, but doesn't go all the way. Doesn't confirm what exactly is going on. SCV does come in for a scout. Does confirm the pool first. And we are going straight for a Bane Nest. We're going for a Bane Bust even. Oh my god. I'm curious how this plays out. I do think that HonMonO denies the natural. But how many Lings are we going to have to work with? As your Overlord is now going to confirm that the proxy is upon us, and here come the Marines. Oh, Erik is going to confirm that the proxy is upon us. Yeah, he does see that the Raxes are missing. And Lings are on the way. Again, I don't think Erik has to try to fight for control of his natural, especially with that Bane Nest. Now, HonMonO, he did scout the Bane Nest. He's aware. He's going for the Overlord. Ooh, a big pick off. Overlord is going to go down. As Lings are going to try and set up a surround as well. We collapse on the army. And is this going to be good enough? We do end up trading here. A lot of Marines are going down. Oh my god, and with reinforcements, we barely do clean this up. A big surround here from Erik. He shuts down the Marines. Bunker does finish though. But that was a big loss for HonMonO. As Erik's supply block, losing that Overlord earlier was huge. The hatchery does finish. We do have a little bit more supply to work with. Ling's going to try to catch some reinforcements. Good control here from Erik. He does pick up one more Marine. Just every Marine counts. Additional Queens are on the way. Again, that supply block was massive. 12 Lings in production. Banelings are on the way. And this hatchery is going to fall. Again, we mentioned before that the hatchery was unlikely to be saved, but it's about whether or not Erik can recover from this. As Banelings are waddling on forward and they're looking to connect. Oh my god, they go straight for the Marines even. They take them down. Miscontrol out of HonMonO. He did end up exposing his army. The bunkers don't have to be dealt with. And this is huge. This is massive, actually. Reapers are on the way. So far, the Reapers, they will manage to escape. Bunkers are going to be salvaged. I spoke too soon. Both Reapers do get hunted down. We're doubling down on additional Reaper production. Meanwhile, across the map, Erik, he can commit to his bust. And he's flooding his Lings across the map. He already has a 1-point lead. He only needs one more. We have a secondary wall going for a massive eBay wall off instead. Bunkers, eBay's on the way. The Reapers are racing back home. HonMonO realizes what's going on, and we should be able to break through the first wall, but what about the second? HonMonO massively supply blocked. Oh, we're trying to break through that eBay, and it looks like we can. Looks like we should. Yeah, as the eBay goes out, it's a kill, not a cancel. Bunkers did finish. Oh my god, an insane supply block. As Erik is expanding behind this, he's droning as well. SCVs, they try to go for a surround. They do actually. They surround one of those bunkers. But they don't get the second. That Reaper count is getting surprisingly high. It's a little bit concerning. CC is on the way, calling down supply, trying to break free from the supply block. As the Lings are trying to catch these reinforcements. How many Reapers are we up to? 8. 8 Reapers on the way from HonMonO. The production is lifted. And HonMonO is going to try and stabilize. He's going into mech here on one base. Meanwhile, Erik has a lot of droning to do. As I say that, he's making more things. He has a lair on the way as well. So it looks like he wants the Bane bust, but the lair is coming out of left field. The lair is... Oh no, the predictions. Sorry, I apologize. I forgot about the predictions. Predictions open. We're going no shot. Okay, the wall off is about to be thrown down. Erik isn't going to be committing. We're taking this moment to breathe. We can see 2 CCs on the way, the natural and the third. 3 factories as well, getting into all these add-ons. HonMonO going to be working towards, I imagine, Cyclone production on one base. But the Massling! Massling is going to be coming in. We do have a full wall off, so Erik can't really push in. I'm a little bit concerned that he thinks that he's denying add-ons when, again, it's a mech transition, not bio, and Erik doesn't know. He doesn't know that denying these add-ons doesn't really matter at the moment. Does catch a couple of Reapers. Cyclones have yet to reveal themselves. Mutas are on the way. But going mass Cyclone against Muta, this is a good thing for HonMonO. Cyclone has revealed itself. One of them. And Erik, I feel like he's kind of trapped here. There's nowhere to go. Boys are being pulled. Erik, he has to fight. He has to stand his ground. And the Lings do get cleaned up. Good control out of HonMonO. Meanwhile, Erik rushing into Mutas. There's nothing that can really deal with this, like, at least stationary. Like, there's no turrets thrown down. Not yet, so turrets are now on the way. We do scan the natural. We get eyes on the gases. Turret is on the way. These Mutas are going to have a hard time finding damage. What do we have? We have 6 Mutas available for Erik. Third CC has been spotted. Additional factories. Erik is now aware of the mech. Oh! HonMonO will back off. Or Erik will back off. And from here, roaches are on the way. So Erik, he isn't overcommitting into Mutas. Thankfully, he only made 6. Not the biggest investment. He's just looking to contain. And after a chaotic start, HonMonO stabilized. At this point, 100%. He is under no threat of dying anytime soon. He's getting his third base up and running. It's going to be on Erik to saturate his own third and to delay the third base of HonMonO for as long as possible. Going to be on Erik here, but here comes the push, and this is concerning. Erik, he's not ready for this. Yeah, the massive amount of Cyclones here, I think it's too much. The Mutas are getting caught out. I don't like this. As HonMonO, he does take down an Overlord. There's barely a standing army here for Erik. No roaches, only Ling Bane. Big shout out to Colossal Gulp. Thank you so much for the raid, Papi. Yeah. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you had a good ladder session. Hope the smudge was minimal. As the meters are going to be harassing across the map, they will get cleaned up. At the same time, here comes HonMonO. We're looking for a big surround. Oh, Erik trying to collapse, but alas, just wasn't lined up too well. Erik has to retreat. Oh yeah, even these Lings get caught out. Just the trades have been just too in favor of HonMonO. Catching some of these overlords. Erik, he desperately needs to do some kind of counter damage. He does get into the mineral line. He's going to be able to pick off some SCVs. Does force back the army. Could even catch a Cyclone. Ooh. As friendly fire, or sorry, as the mine shots go off, no friendly fire was forced. And HonMonO, he can commit here to his push. We have 20 Cyclones now for HonMonO. And Erik has to rely on these infestors. They're on the way, but they need time. We have to be very conservative with these vials. We need to try and slow down this army, force it back. Bailing's getting picked off, and we just don't have the numbers. Don't have the numbers, not anymore. It looks like HonMonO, he just may have too much. Here come the infestors, here comes a fungal, but yeah, there's no follow-up. HonMonO is snowballing out of control. He shuts down the army. Shuts down the roaches, the ravagers, the infestors, and HonMonO will be taking, or I mean, he should be able to take down this third. That's going to be 16 dead workers. GG gets called, and HonMonO takes game 1. GG. GG, well played. Just gonna be leaving a message. Huh. Beautiful. So we're getting into our next game, and so far we're in a title series. Sorry, I was just talking to them about servers. Originally we were going to be alternating servers back and forth, because I assumed that Erik's ping would be better on Central, but I may have made a mistake with that assumption. Regardless, we're getting into our next game. We are getting into game number 2 on Alcyone. We are tied up 1-1 here in this series. Let's go. And now we're getting into Alcyone. And we'll see who's able to take a lead here in this series. It's still best of 5. Plenty of games are ahead of us. Plenty of games to come. Now we can focus on the games themselves. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing the Cranky Ducklings. He's one of our own. It is Erik. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Here we go. I thought HonMonO was dead. This is not the first time. This happened against Demi as well, where even if HonMonO has a failed proxy 3 racks, if he's able to stabilize on one base, like he is able to get into, or he's so quick to go into mass cyclone production, and from there he can snowball out of control. Like he's very good at just transitioning out of proxy 3 racks. Did it against Erik in that last game, did it against Demi as well. You can never die when you have mules. True, true. But a lot of that also did come down to the Spire transition. As we saw, the mutas weren't really able to achieve too much. And I think this is a really smart play here, actually, from HonMonO. It is going to be a hatch pool opener here from Erik. It's going to be, I believe, a 15-15. Yep, 15-15 opener here from Erik. So he's going to have faster queens, but delayed gas, delayed link speed. And HonMonO is committing once again to a proxy 3 racks. As we saw before, even if this gets cleaned up, as long as we're able to shut down the natural, then HonMonO can, of course, transition out of it. But on top of that, just because Erik did go 2-ace muta and his opponent was going to mass cyclone, the mutas, they weren't really the best option there. They didn't really pay for themselves. It was an expensive tech choice from Erik that just did not pay off. As here comes the SCV Scout confirming the hatch first. Likewise, Erik is getting across the map, trying to get a read on what's going on. There it is, the bunker has been revealed. Ooh, spine crawlers on the way. But the rest of these SCVs are about to reveal themselves as well. Again, Erik's still in the dark. And now he knows. Now he's aware. Oh, and holding on to this natural is going to be a difficult thing to pull off. Yeah, additional workers are being pulled. And we're going to try and dive on this army. We're going to try and shut down these SCVs. One of them's going to go down, but we still have 3. Ooh, we still have 2 left. Soon to be 1 left. HonMonO a little bit careless here. He needs to keep these SCVs alive. As the spine crawler has completed and every single SCV goes down, Erik, he holds on to his natural. Am I getting ahead of myself? The queen did go down. Oh, the boys are just barely trying to hold on, but the spine crawler is exposed. We need our lings. We need our lings, Papi. And there we go. They do come out in time, but 7 drones went down. That was a big blow to the economy of Erik. Oh, Erik is hurting. Down to 13 drones compared to HonMonO, who's on 17, and there's his transition. We have a CC on the high ground. Erik trying to force this back, trying to trade, going for another spine crawler. That means that Erik is down to 12 drones. The economic damage on its own may just be too much. And HonMonO, he's snowballing out of control. Gets on top of the ling, forces a cancel on the spine crawler without a spine crawler. And with this economy, like again, I mentioned before that typically when you defend against, so we're coming down with another queen. Typically when you defend against something like a 3 racks, trying to hold on to this natural is just so greedy. It's so difficult to pull off. We get a surround. We try to, but there's too much DPS. There's too much man with gun. Oh, we have a transfuse available. Another spine crawler's on the way. Economically, HonMonO snowballing out of control here, getting up to 22 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, the queen! God, high energy queen is barely going to be safe here. We do have a clutch transfuse. Ah. But the queens are going down. We're down to 1. And it looks like Erik, he has the room to drone. And he has a lot of droning to do. It's been a very tough hold here. Across the map, we're getting into a 3rd CC as well. HonMonO, oh my god. With this 3rd CC, you can even try to take the gold. Like, there's a lot available here for HonMonO. He's achieved so much with this proxy. He's racing back home. And how is Erik going to come back here? How are we going to try to bounce back in this game? Oh, that is the question. There's that factory on the way. Raxes are being floated over back home as well. Erik forced to invest into a 2nd spine crawler. And he's been able to drone up to 20, still down 10 workers. He's at least forcing some inefficient mining. This is pretty important, actually. So he does get eyes on the 3rd base. Sorry, on the natural. Erik does get supply blocked. And I'm really curious if HonMonO goes into mech again, or if he goes into something a little bit different. There's going to be a tech lab on the way, starport as well. This could be for an add-on stop to get into battle cruisers. Scan into the main reveals the lack of lair, the lack of gas. And Erik, he's still recovering. It's just a really, really brutal position. And the problem for Erik is that he's not really fully aware of what comes next. That's going to be a 4th CC on the way. That's how far ahead HonMonO is. As Erik works on a 3rd base, HonMonO is working on a 4th. Additional racks is on the way. Yep, it is going to be Fusion Core. It is going to be BCs. Now, I assumed it was going to be an add-on swap into BCs, but we're going for a safety tank first before the add-on swap, which makes sense. Because we have to wait for the Fusion Core to finish first. Fusion Core is finishing. Lacking is on the way. Ooh, and we're going to be going into 2-port BC. Double starport production. Triple starport production even. Mass BC here from HonMonO. And if Erik doesn't scout this, we saw this kill Demi earlier, and it's going to happen again. Erik needs to get a read on what's going on. The problem with mass BC here is that, again, if you don't see it coming ahead of time, it's so difficult to react in time to deal with them, because getting into a Spire, getting into even a Hydrogen, a Panic Hydrogen, like, it's just, it takes time. It does take time to get going. Meanwhile, Erik, he's stuck on hatch tech, stuck droning. Three starports are on the way. There's that Bailey nest, and thankfully we do at least have a lair in production that will help, but we're really heavily reliant on the scouts. Once the lair finishes, we should be sending out an overseer across the map, but it's too late. It's too late for the overseer to see this, because the BCs are on the way. And how many queens do we have available? We have 6 queens. That is enough to deal with 1 battle cruiser. We have some safety spores on the way, thankfully. Safety spore crawlers are in production, but the BCs are just being banked up back at home. Just banking them up 3 at a time. 4th base is being landed on location. 4th base on the way for Erik. Erik has no reason to assume that he's going to need a Spire right now. And after the failed mutas in the last game, he's unlikely to throw in a Spire as well. Until he sees something. Infestation Pit's on the way. Erik, he's just teching. Lair is done. We need an Overseer. we need an Overseer now. We need to try to go for a Scout. As we are up to 2 battle cruisers, now 3, soon to be 4. Soon to be 6. Boy. Thankfully, we're still making queens. How many queens are we up to? 8 queens. Thankfully for Erik, there's no Yamato. We do see a scan into the main base. There is no Yamato on the way. If there was, then I do think that HonMonO can just kind of A-move across the map. He can just kill everything. Without Yamato, it's going to be more of a back and forth here, but we're about to have as many BCs as there are queens, and that's critical mass. That's far too much. Yeah, now we're teleporting across the map. I think this may just end the game here. 4 battle cruisers, 5 battle cruisers. They dive on in. Clutch transfuse here on this spore crawler. The spore goes down, and now we can focus down every single one of these queens. There is no answer. There is nothing that can deal with this. We have a couple of Ravagers that can try to bow this down, but the infestation bit will fall. We get a fungal, but the splits are too good. And this is going to be giving HonMonO a lead in this series. We can see that Erik is trying to muster up his defense series, trying to go for 1 Hail Mary fungal and a Bile combo. That's the only chance, the only way. But with the pre-splits, the pre-split here, 1 BC goes down. Oh god, as we take down 15 workers, 17 drones. BCs are getting low, but we mule, we can repair. And additional BCs coming to reinforce. It took so much to kill 1 battle cruiser. And we are on 7. At the same time, we're going for a counterattack where we have Planetary. Planetary holds. Planetary will not go down to this army. And GG is going to get called. HonMonO takes a lead in the series. GG. Again, a very strong start for HonMonO. A very strong start. Was able to, look pretty powerful. In that last game, just because of his proxy 3-racks. His proxy 3-racks did a lot of economic damage. A lot of economic damage was dealt. He was able to get a lead as a result. Remember, Erik was knocked down to 12 drones. 12 drones against the 22 of HonMonO. That's how much damage that dealt. That's also why typically against a proxy 3-racks, you give up your natural. You give up your natural base and you defend on one base. Instead, Erik, he was a little bit greedy, just trying to hold on to his natural base as well, and did lose too much in the process. Queens, lings, drones. Ooh, was a big blow there. Big blow. And with that, we are going to be getting into potentially the final game of the series. Potentially. As HonMonO, he needs one more. One more win here. One more game to become our champion. Has HonMonO won a Tenacious Turtle Tussle before? I know he's won a GPO. I'm pretty sure that has happened. Let me just double check. There have been 14 of these. 14 Tenacious Turtle Tussles, and HonMonO, he did win number 9 against Nice in the finals. So, not his first championship, but he may be opting for a second. Likewise, Erik is also a TTT champion. But here we go, we're getting into this, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Equilibrium, we have our Brazilian Zerg player representing the Cranky Ducklings going for a 15 hatch. I'm pretty sure. It is Erik. Oh, he's not canceling. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, going for a proxy once again, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Not gonna just be one. We have a second and a third SCV on the way. It's gonna be a proxy 3-racks, once again 3 games in a row. Very powerful opener here from HonMonO. As we saw, it can do a devastating amount of damage. Now, Erik is going for a gas first once again. Very similar to game 1. He's going to be going gas pool hatch. A very aggressive opener. He's going to be rushing into link speed. If you remember, game 1, Erik did handle this relatively well. He was able to go into a counterattack. I do believe that it was the follow-up Spire that did kill Erik in the end, just because it was just so much resources investing into 6 mutas, into the Spire, into the gases, into everything involved, and it just did not pay off. So maybe Erik is thinking the same. Maybe he's also thinking that against this guy it may be worth just going for link speed first into a Bane Nest. Yep, same opener as game number 1. We'll see if the execution is that much better for Erik. For now, getting into those 3 Raxes. Gonna be forcing Erik back for a moment. SCVs have been revealed. And based on the movement here of Erik, he is kind of zoning back this army. He's kind of denying any kind of bunker play, but there we go, the bunker has been thrown down. No expansion from Erik, by the way, staying on one base. And we'll see if he can shut this down. So far, good movement out of HonMonO, using these Raxes here to just avoid the surround. Sorry, using the bunkers to avoid the surround. And HonMonO is in a really rough place. These bunkers, I think they're going to finish. We can see Erik is going to try to catch some reinforcements. He does get 2 Marines. Oh, doesn't get the third. A little bit of miscontrol there. Does pull back at the wrong moment. Trying to come in for a surround once again. He does clean up the Marines, though. Every single Marine goes down. Big pickups here. Link speed kicking in. And we do force a salvage. Erik can expand. Whew. That was intense. But Erik basically, he was able to catch the Marines before they got to the bunker. And now he's going for a counterattack. Gases are being taken. HonMonO amassing his marine army. Not rushing back home. Erik still focusing on link production, hasn't droned, and is going for a Bane Bust. Now, the last time we saw this, HonMonO did go for an eBay wall, but he had a better economy last time. He was better prepared. This time the Bane Bust is upon us. And we should have enough to break through. These depots getting very low. And it will fall. The Banelings, they crash into the mineral line. Links are busted in as well. The boys, they have to be pulled. No! The boys have to be pulled. SCVs are going down and HonMonO is completely all in. We have a spine crawler on the way. We have to pull the boys. Oh, Lings, they try to engage. Banelings are rolling it up. Do connect. We somewhat connect. And is that enough? It looks like we're buying enough time. The spine crawler will finish. Very little mining here from the Terran. With the spine crawler complete, HonMonO, he can maybe deal with the natural, but he cannot push up into the main as the spine crawler is repositioning. Lings, they have arrived. He's going for what little is left. Crippling the economy. And here comes a surround. Erik shutting this down, hard countering this in a way, actually, with his build of choice, with his delayed natural base. You can see HonMonO trying to get into Reaper production across the map. No economy. Zero economy. Reapers are falling left and right. There's almost nothing left. GG gets called, and Erik ties up the series 2-2. We're going to the ace match. We are going all the way to game 5. GG, well played. Oh boy, the question becomes, does HonMonO go for a proxy 3-axe again? Or does he go for something different? And the question becomes, does Erik go for a gas first again to try to hard counter it? The mind games are real. The mind games are upon us. What do we go for? What do we go for? Early morning StarCraft. Best StarCraft. Oh, it is very early morning. I mean, I guess if you're in Europe, I think Europe's just waking up. Dzień dobry. Good morning, good morning. I believe the Americas should be going to bed around this time. And here in Australia, it's middle of the day. It's afternoon. Here we go. Here we go. It all ends here. The final game of the series. Game 5. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing the Cranky Ducklings, tying up the series 2-2. It is Erik. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran, living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Erik going for a 14 hatch. It's going to be a 14-14 out of Erik. HonMonO this time keeps his SCV at home and keeps his racks at home. HonMonO, he has been going for a proxy 3 racks every game in this series. And after seeing it fail, after seeing Erik hard counter it in that last game, he's calming down. He is going to be calming things down and making his racks back at home. And we have a game on our hands. We can actually get into a more stable opener and get into the mid game. Now, with a 14-14 from Erik, this should, obviously it leads into a delayed gas. This should lead into a roach opener. And we'll see how hard Erik commits. We've seen Erik hard commit to roaches or go into like 2 roaches just for a little bit of map presence and then just drone up behind it. There are options. There are options available here for Erik. What does he go for? As for now, he is actually delaying his gas by quite a bit. We have 6 Lings on the way, Queens as well. Very safe play here out of Erik, just in case his opponent were cheesing. Behind this, it's a 2-Rax opener. Interesting. So this can be the beginning of a 2-on-1, or this could lead into a 4-Rax. I don't know if I've seen HonMonO 4-Rax before, but I wouldn't put it past him. 4-Raxing is a thing that Terran players, Beyond has been very fond of. Reaper's going to be moving out. Barely does see the Lings, but it looks like HonMonO may not have. As he heads into the natural, going straight for the drones. So far, good reaction out of Erik. He does pull back, but he wants that worker. He wants the drone. Oof. Barely morphed in. Meanwhile, behind this, it is not a 4-Rax, that is a factory, so it's a 2-on-1. 2-on-1 opener here from HonMonO. Lings, they do arrive. They delay the CC on the low ground. Ooh, a pretty big delay, actually. Reaper is racing back home. We should be able to save this. This shouldn't be a cancel, but a lot of damage is being done, and boys are being pulled. They have to be. Oh my god. And with this, we're going to get a couple of SCV kills. 2 SCVs go down. Marines have been revealed. Lings get cleaned up. We do not scout the main. Erik, that's actually a little bit important. That's pretty important, actually. He saw Marines coming out, which is a bit of a tell. He should have seen a Hellion by now, as he is going into 2-base lair. Let's go. Lair's on the way. There's that Roach horn that we were talking about. We are skipping Link speed, so we're going into Roach play. Roaches can defend against 2-on-1s. This is true. We can have enough of them to deflect the army, but it's going to be close. And again, this relies on Erik. Make sure he doesn't overdrone. If he makes too many workers, he may just die. Reaper comes in, scouts the lair, dips out. Doesn't see how many gases. For all he knows, for all HonMonO knows, it could be 2-base muter again. Could be muter play. HonMonO doesn't have all the information he needs. Behind this, starport's on the way. We should be seeing an add-on swap between the factory and the starport to go into medevac production. We're going to be going for a 16 marine medevac drop. Double medevac drop. It's going to hit hard, especially with the delayed CC. HonMonO, he's going for 2-base play, a very late third. We should be throwing it down momentarily, but it's delayed nonetheless, in favor of this timing. Ooh, Erik going straight for the infestation, but greedy move here from Erik. Going for Burrow as well. Interesting choice. Overseer's on the way, but the push should be coming. We're just waiting for those medevacs to move out, which means this Overseer should recognize what's happening in time. We're dipping on in. There we go. We have the changeling towards the natural. We see all the Marines. We see the tech lab on the factory. We know that Hellions have not been made, and that a 2-on-1 is coming. We're going 2-base swarm host. Oh god, this is so wild. Okay, not the first time we've seen this. If you were here for the interview that we had for Erik a couple of months ago, I think in June or July, Erik did say that he doesn't like 2-base muta. He prefers 2-base swarm hosts against Terran. That's why he got Burrow, to borrow those swarm hosts and to be as annoying as possible with those locust waves. But here comes that double drop. We only have 3 roaches. We've been a little bit too greedy. We should have recognized the 2-on-1, by the way. The drops are here. We need an army. We need roaches, and we don't have enough. Boys are being pulled. Queens are coming in. Here come the medevacs, and I don't know if we can hold. Yeah, we have to pull the boys. Drones will die, but they have to for the cause. As we will barely force this back. 2 drones go down. 3, 4, 5. 6 drone kills. Pretty good damage. The medevac, no shot. Oh my god, it barely escapes. At the same time, the Locust Wave takes down the eBay. Oh my god. Erik. He takes down the eBay with the Locust Wave. Yeah. And because it's a 2-base opener, there is no third CC, not yet, so we have limited scans. And I love this. This is what Erik does. He goes for the Locust Wave, then he splits up his swarm hosts, making sure that we need 1 scan each. Fun fact, this does make it worth it. These locusts, these swarm hosts, they do pay for themselves by forcing 1 scan for each of these swarm hosts, alongside the damage that was just done, alongside the dead eBay. It's only 4 swarm hosts. From here, we go into Roach Infestor. Locust waves are moving out towards the mineral line. Tank is going to force some friendly fire. We got 3 SCVs. And we can see another Locust wave heading towards the 3rd. Sensor towers are on the way. Do we have a scan? We should. Oh, the single roach. Locust wave is coming in. It's only 2 locusts, but they're going to be able to kill a couple of SCVs. They get 1. They get 2. They get a mule. Oh my god. Behind this, Erik has been droning. He's a little bit supply blocked, working on link speed. There's the scan. We get 1 swarm host. We're going to need 3 more scans. Infestors are coming out. 1-1. Restarted here for the Terran. Comes another Locust wave, once again going for the turret. He could even go straight for the tank, to be honest. He thinks about it. Does get 2 SCVs. Scan does not catch it. Second scan has to be used. Here comes another Locust wave. Marines this time are in position. Forcing out a scan. Now here comes the drop play here of HonMonO. Doom dropping towards the main. That's a lot of Marines. And Erik, I think he did just miss it. He does have Overlords in position. Medevacs have been spotted. And they're boosting right into the main base. Spores are in position. HonMonO, he is deflected. Link speed about to kick in. Failing speed as well. HonMonO being very careful with this army. Doesn't want to get caught out. There are 2 infestors looking for fungals. Drop is coming on the right hand side. These infestors are exposed. Oh no! Oh my god. Oh, he's going for them. He wants them. Infestors, they are going to get picked off. They do land 1 fungal. Here comes the rest of the army at the same time. Drop into the natural. 1 infestor did go down. 3 more infestors on the way. HonMonO having a great time here, just dropping between the natural and the 4th. Trying to pull Erik apart. But Erik, he keeps up. Is able to keep up. Is able to shut him down. 3 CC up and running. 4 CC on the way. The miles! Oh my god. HonMonO, be careful. Ten cuidado, papi. As he's getting his 4th CC up and running. Meanwhile, the Hive is done. We're getting to Viper's Ultra Cavern as well. Erik, let's go. Here we go. We do end up scanning the last remaining swarm host. I believe every swarm host has now gone down. But Erik can focus on his main army. Likewise, so can HonMonO. He's going for a bio composition. Very Marauder heavy, actually, which means these Ultras are going to have a hard time. Especially pushing up these choke points. Erik, he wants HonMonO to expose himself. Wants him to push out. Kindness plating on the way. Erik waiting to receive. Looking for a big fungal. He wants it. Oh god. The infestors! No! They rally in! 1 infestor goes down. At the same time, though, a big link counterattack here does hit the 3rd. And there's not much here to defend. The wall has been broken. HonMonO, he is gaining ground. We do deny +2. But HonMonO, he's breaking through. The Ultras, they have arrived. Kindness plating isn't done. The Vipers, they throw down a couple of blinding clouds. It looks like Erik, he does deflect this army. At the same time, he gets into the natural base. He eviscerates the economy. 12 workers go down. It's just too much. Erik snowballs out of control. He shuts down the army and he shuts down the economy. GG. Erik takes the series 3-2. GG, well played. Erik will be this week's the final Tenacious Turtle Tussle champion of 2023. GG, well played. Oh my god, that went the distance. That went all the way to the ace match. We had a pretty rowdy finals as well. HonMonO going for a proxy 3 racks 3 games in a row. That was insane. To be that aggressive, to be that in the face of Erik. Then eventually Erik did shut it down. And here in the ace matches when things were a little bit more back and forth. We got a much more stable game, stable opener. I mean, I say that, Erik did whip out, for the first time in a long time, his patented 2-base swarm host, where it's only 4 swarm hosts he invests into Burrow. He only has them to harass a little bit, then he goes into Roach, Ravager, Infester. Erik's done that before. He almost beat Gumiho with that a couple of months ago, and whipped it out again. That was beautiful. GG, well played. Let's go. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Erik. Congratulations to HonMonO as well for advancing on to the grand finals. And of course, both players will be walking away with some of that prize money. Both players will be making some bank. Beautiful. And yeah, on top of that, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. You know, this is a tournament that we've been struggling to host, I'll be honest. There hasn't been too much interest when it comes to the player base, but I have a lot of love for the players that do rock up here day after day. Sorry, not day after day, week after week. Players like HonMonO, Erik, Trigger, Nice, Miyomaika, Demi, Eon, Reaper. Like, yeah, they've been rocking up here and they've been representing and competing. Again, not the highest turnout, but a solid turnout nonetheless. So much appreciated. Much appreciated. We do what we can. We do what we can. The goal here of this tournament series is to help support, you know, some of the smaller regions out there. This is a region-locked event. Region-locked to Latin America, North America, Oceania, and Southeast Asia, and China as well. So it's region-locked to these, again, smaller regions, and we're doing what we can. Basically like our version of KSL. KSL supports Korea, we support everything else. And that's why, if you're interested, you can support us on Patreon or support the tournaments on Patreon. We have we're very transparent with where all the money goes and how it's split up, and where we want the money to go as well, and how we want to grow our tournaments. So if you're interested, Patreon is the place to be. Otherwise, we also have other tournaments that are on the horizon. Next weekend is going to be Grand Platypus Open and Sparkling Tuna Cup. That is going to be coming up next. Let me just double check our calendar just to be sure. And yeah, this coming weekend, sorry, Sparkling Tuna Cup, the last Sparkling Tuna Cup of the year is going to be the 17th. And for those wondering, STC, the Tuna Cup, if you will, that's our open tournament. Despite what region you're from, Korea, Europe, America, Southeast Asia, Sparkling Tuna Cup is open to all players. Grand Platypus Open, as you can imagine, is region locked to the Oceanic region. Oceania, Southeast Asia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, rest of Asia. All of that is for GPO. I believe our final GPO is going to be on the 30th. So, second last day of the year is going to be GPO. Sparkling Tuna Cup is going to be on the 17th, so halfway through December. So, yeah, we still have a couple of tournaments on the horizon. Again, this weekend is IEM qualifiers. Next weekend is DreamHack Atlanta. A lot of StarCraft on the way, and we're trying our best to squeeze in as much as we can. And of course, cast on a daily basis. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for the support. If you do wish to tune into some more Cranky Duckling action, exclamation mark YouTube in the chat. You can check out our YouTube channel. Over on YouTube, we do upload on a daily basis. I'll post all the links in the chat, all the commands. We do upload on a daily basis, so our YouTube has plenty of content there if you are unsatiated. When it comes to our next broadcast, it's going to be tonight. Let's do the math. What is the math looking like? Okay, so our next broadcast is in 9 hours. In 9 hours time, 9 hours and 20 minutes, we're going to be live on this channel once again with a show match. It's going to be a very special event. It's the Kashim friendly show matches. it's going to be a best of 5 between Future and Strange, and a best of 5 between Future and Chan. So some NA versus Europe and some NA versus Latin American action there. So we got you covered with some show matches in 9 hours. I believe it's going to be at the same time as Home Story Cup, so unfortunately there's going to be a little bit of overlap there, but some good matches nonetheless. And of course you can always just open up a bunch of tabs, open up a bunch of windows, and watch everything all at once. We got you covered. So yeah, we got some future show matches in 9 hours, and then tomorrow is ESL Open Cup Asia, ESL Open Cup Americas, Kung Fu Cup, and yeah, so much more, and of course the IEM qualifiers, which we will be covering in the coming days. So yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. I'm gonna be getting some sleep. I think I slept like four hours today. I'm gonna be going to bed and hopefully waking up in time for our next broadcast. So yeah, that's what we have in store for you here on the Cranky Ducklings. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Big shout out to Colossal Gulp for the raid. Big raid here from Colossal Gulp. Gracias, papi. El Kalasi. Thank you. Thank you for the raid. Hope you had a great time. And yeah, we're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid ourselves. Not too sure who. I'm still trying to figure that out. I know that Asher is laddering, but I don't know how long he's going to ladder for. I don't know how long he's going to be around. Because I think he may have just ended. No, he's still laddering. We could raid Eon. We've been raiding Eon a lot, actually. Giving him a lot of raids. Who else is live right now? We'll find someone. Give them a chance, give them some support, give them an opportunity, and we'll see you guys in 9 hours for some more StarCraft action. Until then, hasta luego. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye. Hasta luego.